Away and running. Taking a dip at the start was Big Rowdy Dan. Good rail speed from Edmund Fitzgerald. There's 6 whips engaging that fight on the front as they pass the 5. Luckily, Leyton came away in that third place position, and Big Rowdy Dan is in fourth position as they're 1, 2, 3, 4 down the back of the track. Silver R has one beaten, and Safin is last of all. They point down towards the 3.5 furlong point, and 6 whips puts that nose in front. Edmund Fitzgerald needs to dig deep and find more. Luckily, Leyton is emerging from the backstretch and is now moving into that second place position, and Big Rowdy Dan comes under a ride. The quarter pole looms for 6 whips with the money on it. 1 to 5 is nursing a 1.5 length lead. Luckily, Leyton is 3 paths off the fence, and Big Rowdy Dan slices up the rail as they turn for home, and 6 whips is opened up on the opposition. Big Rowdy Dan, the only one with a threat, but it's a distant threat too, as 6 whips came out of her corner swinging today. 6 whips well clear. 6 whips at 1 to 5 has won it over Big Rowdy Dan, Silver R, and Luckily Leyton. Away and running. Hopping at the start was Distorted Times. Good speed in the center of the track for Distorted Times. Papa Jimmy is also right there, and up the fence is Grecian Pharaoh. Wide outside for Honor My World, and Boom Boom Kaboom is in a very claustrophobic spot. Box Office Warriors close to the pace today, despite being second last, and Irish Kittens last of all. It's a compact group as they move in front of us with a circuit to go, and with 6.5 furlongs out from the winning line, it's Distorted Times who controls the clock and hugs that corner sweetly. Boom Boom Kaboom has a dream run up the fence and is poised to take on Distorted Times now. There's a gap of 2 back to Box Office Warrior, who travels all by himself in third, and Papa Jimmy broke sharp and wrangled back to be in fourth. Deep on the track is Honor My World, passed by Irish Kitten, and last of all is Grecian Pharaoh. Race is void of any pace, but now it picks up with Boom Boom Kaboom now taking control over Distorted Times, and Box Office Warriors on the heels of the speed and is eager to go. Papa Jimmy's going to be caught 3 wide around the second turn, and Irish Kitten ducks to the fence. Honor My World has one beaten, and that's Grecian Pharaoh in a compact affair. They swing the side. Boom Boom Kaboom still leading the charge, but there goes Box Office Warrior as Boom Boom Kaboom blew the turn. Box Office Warrior kicks for home with a 1.5 length lead. Irish Kitten's the only threat now in second. Grecian Pharaoh scrapes paint, they swing, and Distorted Times backed right out of it. It's Box Office Warrior with an unassailable lead. Irish Kitten holding on to second. Grecian Pharaoh starting to close in late, but there's no doubt about this 1 to 9 winner. Box Office Warrior just destroyed the competition over Irish Kitten, Grecian Pharaoh, and Papa Jimmy. And they are in the gate. Away and running. Slow to go was Mithridates, but blazing speed from Ruby's Flash today. Also showing good early toe is Prince Fred, and Play Hard is right there, the main division too. Kickstartness came away in that 4th place position. Toporical rides the fence, second last is Third City, and Mithridates is a lackluster last. They race down to the far turn, and Ruby's Flash says, "Come and catch me if you can," and shows the way by 2. Prince Fred is on the prowl in second and getting a wee bit closer under whip encouragement. Kickstartness is in that 3rd position, trying to get on track, and a distant 4th is Toporical. Off the turn, and there goes Prince Fred, who can wait no more, and Prince Fred, with those catapulting strides, hits the top around the bend with 3/16 of a mile to the end, and Prince Fred is now making short work of the opposition. Ruby's Flash has no more to give. Kickstartness was never a threat. Play Hard scampers up the fence. Late on the scene is Third City, but up top, Prince Fred has won it over Ruby's Flash, Kickstartness, and Play Hard. Away and running. Good speed, 2 from the inside from Gatita Suave. Facciabella is also right there, so the long shots are 1-2. 4 deep is 30 Thou Kelvin, and Miss Riddler rides that rail. Second last in the early mix is Hang the Moon, and Sabalenka is last of all as they link up with the course proper. So it's Gatita Suave with a nose in front of Miss Riddler, who's pulling hard under Declan Cannon's hands, and 30 Thou Kelvin is under the line for the first time in that 3rd place position. Facciabella chases the speed at the 6.5 furlong point in that 4th place spot. Hang the Moon still in front of 1, and Sabalenka is patiently ridden at the back of the pack. So around the first turn over the soft affected ground, and it's Miss Riddler who controls things today and shows the way by a measured neck. Gatita Suave is right there shadowing that runner's every single move, and 30 Thou Kevin becomes a big threat now to the outside to try to take the lead away. Advantage to 30 Thou Kelvin, who can wait no more at the 4.5. Miss Riddler continues to be on hold in second. Gatita Suave comes under a loose rein in third. Facciabella rides that rail to try to take that 3rd spot away. Hang the Moon is going to be caught deep on the course, and Sabalenka is still patiently ridden at the back of the pack, but swings out wide for the drive. 3 furlongs to go in the Christiana Stakes. 30 Thou Kelvin made this massive move around at the 4.5 furlong point and shows the way by 2. Facciabella's up the rail. Miss Riddler's in between rivals. Hang the Moon comes under a ride. Sabalenka is still 5 lanes down, and 30 Thou Kelvin now kicks to the top of the stretch in the Christiana Stakes with an authoritative lead. Holding on to second is Facciabella. Sabalenka had nowhere to give, neither did Hang the Moon, but it's 30 Thou Kelvin holding everyone at bay, and the Christiana Stakes champion is 30 Thou Kelvin over the long shot Facciabella, then Sabalenka and Hang the Moon. Post. Away and running. A bit headstrong at the start was Respectfully, but Carol Girl bounds away on top and then slams on the brakes. Respectfully in for the fight already with Waterworks and Peppermint class, and wide is Ragtime Bell, and 6 to Hardway is dropped to the back of the pack. So the favorite is under massive attack early, and in between rivals is Waterworks, deep on the course is Peppermint class, and Respectfully is not traveling well at this stage, is right up against the fence as this one tries to settle down under Ruben Silvera's hands. There's a gap of 2 back to Ragtime Bell, who's off the fence. Carol Girl is traveling sweetly, and 6 to Hardway gets a hot pace to chase at an opening quarter that was a blistering 22 seconds here. Waterworks, Respectfully, and Peppermint class. They're stacked up across the course, and they've had no breathers today. Carol Girl is right there behind a 3-pronged attack, and Ragtime Bell is going to have to go 4 wide, and 6 to Hardway is only 3 lengths down from the leader as they get ready to turn again. Respectfully is in very deep water as Waterworks tries to go on past, and Peppermint class is right there too. Closing in sweetly is 6 to Hardway. Right on the outside is Ragtime Bell, and Carol Girl's in the thick of it too. The quarter pole's in sight for Peppermint class, who comes calling for the lead, but an onslaught of challengers is ready to take her on. 6 to Hardway, Carol Girl, Ragtime Bell, they're all across the course at the top of the stretch, and in that yellow cap, Carol Girl tries to squeeze on through. 6 to Hardway takes the trail up the rail. Ragtime Bell is battling on. There's only 200 yards left to go. 4 of them still fight for supremacy. Carol Girl enjoyed the trip. Ragtime Bell grudgingly giving way. Carol Girl has won it over Ragtime Bell, 6 to Hardway, and Peppermint class. Away and running. Good speed on the inside from Ghost of Khozan. Also showing speeds to Gray, the Great Gazoo, deep on the course. Here comes Kenner, showing that good early speed, and Joe Brains is right there too. So as they meet up with the main portion of the track, Kenner now slingshots to the top early, but Joe Brains is going to keep that one honest. The Great Kazoo pops off the fence in a smart move at a 6.5 as they round this first turn run. Up the fence, Eye on Candy goes very wide, impeding the progress of Sigmund, who's carried out very deep. Ghost of Khozan has a lot of room up the inside in front of Prophet's Voice. Then Kitten Around is in front of 2 rivals, including Bold Rickerless, and Andre's Conquest is at the back of the pack. Down to the 5 they go. Kenner gets over to the paint and shows the way 3/4 of a length, but had to work hard to get there as the Great Gazoo is on hold in that second place position. Up the inside, Eye on the Candy now lands 3rd, and Joe Brains is off the fence in a good position in 4th. Ghost of Khozan continues to ride that rail in 5th. Sigmund's a tracking 6th. Bold Licorice is on the rail. In between rivals is Kitten Around. Second last is Prophet's Voice, and now Andre's Conquest is dropped to the tail, past the 3, and still Kenner leads the charge into the far turn. The lead's a length and a quarter. Eye on the Candy taking giant strides, and so is Ghost of Khozan off the turn past the quarter. Kenner trying to stick the trip for another 3/16 of a mile, but the pressure starts to mount. Here comes Eye on the Candy. The rail belongs to Ghost of Khozan. Kitten Around is closing in from out of the clouds. 3 across the course, 1 furlong to go. Kenner gives way, and now Eye on the Candy hits the front in the concluding stages at 11-1. Eye on the Candy was second to none. Kenner was second, Kitten Around 3rd, Ghost of Khozan 4th. Away and running. Terrible start for Burgee. Good speed on the inside from Stone Cold Warrior, but my Danny Boy will engage and these two guys hook up in a big time battle and ain't wasting time gets a blistering pace to chase. Passage of Lines rides that rail and Burgee hopped at the start. Around the first turn they go. Stone Cold Warrior sets the pace today and shows the way by only one. My Danny Boy is right there a tracking second and a gap of 4.5 lengths down to Ain't Wastin' Time, who's a ground-saving joint third. Passage of Lines at even money creeps closer to that speed and takes third away, and Burgee is last of all. They flash down the back of the track and controlling affairs at the longest shot on the board. Cold Stone Warrior now getting a fresh challenge from My Danny Boy as they float towards the 4.5, and now the new leaders My Danny Boy over Stone Cold Warrior, and Passage of Lines continues this sweet trip with only 4 furlongs left to go. Ain't Wastin' Time comes under a ride in a bit of traffic too, and Burgee is last of all. 3 furlongs to go. My Danny Boy still calls the shots, but for how long? Ain't Wastin' Time has clear sailing now, and Burgee is closing in after a stutter step start, and checking out of it with Stone Cold Warrior. Stone Cold Warrior checked hard around the bend with a quarter to go for them across the track, and that light blue cap of Ain't Wastin' Time puts a nose in front. Passage of Lines is right there ready to counter. They swing in, and Passage of Lines trying to press past a stubborn foe. It Ain't Wastin' Time. Passage of Lines now slowly inching away from the opposition. Ain't Wastin' Time fights hard inside the final 16th pole. Ain't Wastin' Time kicks again. Passage of Lines had the jump. Photo finish! Ain't Wastin' Time and Passage of Lines win photo for the judge. Away and running. Good speed in the center of the pack for Phileas Fogg today. There goes Love Me Not in the black cap, and up against the rail is Freedom Trail. Deep on the course, Ocean City now takes that second place position as they navigate the first of 3 left turns. T at 1 came away in 5th position, a couple paths off the rail. Really Good is second last, and Regal Kingdom is lagging far behind. They pass the quarter pole on this first occasion in the Kent Stakes, and Phileas Fogg's the one who makes play today, shows the way by only 1. Love Me Not's off the inside in second, and 3 deep on the course is Ocean City, getting company by Freedom Trail, who takes the inside trail. In that 5th place position, T at 1 is in front of Really Good, and Regal Kingdom content to trail at the back of the pack. So they move in front of us for the first time in the 68th running of the Kent Stakes, and it's Phileas Fogg who controls the splits, but that lead is only a neck. Love Me Not is right there at the 6.5, injecting more pace in second as they turn again. Freedom Trail saves a lot of ground while Ocean City continues to travel in that 4th place position. T at 1 passes the 6 furlong point in that 5th place position, 4 lengths off the lead that is held by Phileas Fogg. Second last is Really Good, and Regal Kingdom still has a lot of ground to make make up as they leave the second turn. So now on the outside, the first one to raise the stakes is Love Me Not and takes the fight to Phileas Fogg, and they've kicked away by a length and a half. Ocean City's off the PVC. Up the inside is Freedom Trail landing third. T at 1 gets a pop of the crop to get closer. Same with Willie Good. And Wrinkle Kingdom starting to tack on with 3.5 furlongs to go in the Kent Stakes today. Phileas Fogg and Love Me Not. These two go toe-to-toe with 3 furlongs to go. T at 1 starts to rev up. Freedom Trail is looking for the out. And Wrinkle Kingdom is out on the course with Really Good grabbing that 5th place spot. Around the bend with a quarter to go. And there goes T at 1, who can wait no more. Love Me Not tries the counter in second, and Freedom Trail starting to warm up. Homeward bound now, T at 1 is kicked away to a 1-length lead. Love Me Not tries to rally in second, and here comes Really Good with a big charge too. At the 16th pole, T at 1 holding on by a thread. Really Good getting to him. Really Good's gonna get up. Really Good has won the Kent Stakes to beat T at 1, Freedom Trail, and Love Me Not.